guys, it's Sam, and this is my spoilery gush for A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Cluess. As I said, this video will have spoilers in it, so if you haven't read this book, go ahead and check out my spoiler-free review, which is linked on the screen. So like I said in my review, this was very unexpected because I didn't think that this book was about even what it was about. I thought it was going to be a typical fantasy, so when she pops up and she's in London, England, I'm like, Victorian London? I am so here for this. So this was just a lot of fun. I really liked everything about this plot. I think again because I went into it not really knowing anything, the fact that they're fighting these magical ancient monster creatures from another dimension, like completely unexpected with that, and that there's all the different kinds of magicians, so I wasn't expecting there to be like witches, magicians, and sorcerers, and I feel like you got this really good feeling of all those different kinds of magics. Like I could definitely tell the difference, especially between the magicians and the sorcerers, because obviously the sorcerers are much more orderly, and the magicians are kind of all over the place and fun, and like they accuse them of being tricksters, but I definitely just think it's more of like a fun, fast-paced vibe, so I really enjoyed that element to it that I wasn't expecting to get. There are also a lot of twists and turns in here that I really wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting Hargrove to be Michaelmas, the magician. I really liked all their like training sequences, and I really felt that even though it was like short and kind of fast-paced, that I still got that bond between them, but I wasn't expecting him to be that guy. Like I still just thought he was a magician and he wasn't that magician. And obviously he's not telling her something about her dad. So I'm really curious about that because I'm like, are you her dad? Like I need to know this whole like, I'll tell you later thing. Like I always think of Game of Thrones and Jon Snow where people always are like, I'll tell you later, and then they die. So I just really would like her to find out the things that she needs to know so she has all the proper information to make decisions. But as far as the other characters and like the love interest stuff, that was part of the plot that I just like didn't quite care about. Like I didn't really care for Magnus from the beginning, and I was actually surprised that they were using him as like an actual love interest. Like I just didn't get that bond really, and like her desire for him and even his for her. Like I just didn't get that. I thought he was just going to be like just a flirt, and so I didn't really care for that. I also really don't care for like her and Rook either. I like it a little more. I like that he's interesting and that he's this like monster boy, so I'm curious as to where like that's gonna go. But I just tend to not like the best friends in love trope anyway. But he's more interesting because he's just a more interesting character, but I just don't really love their bond. The thing that I'm a little more intrigued about is Blackwood, and I was kind of getting a like Darcy Lizzie vibe from them. Like there were definitely scenes that felt like Pride and Prejudice inspired scenes, like where he insulted her at the beginning and then he started really like having very high regard for her, and there were some like scenes that felt very like Pride and Prejudice-esque, so I'm curious if that's gonna be a thing. Like I want, like, and he has a sister that he's really fond of who wants to be really good friends with her. Like there's a lot of Pride and Prejudice connections, so I'm wondering if that's gonna be a thing, and that's more what I want, so I hope that's what happens. But just in general, I'm pretty excited for the rest of the series just because I do think it was fun and I really liked her writing style. I want to know more about the ancients and like the familiars and like all the stuff they're obviously going after the rest of them, and I'm really curious about all of that and how she's going to play into that and how her connection as a magician is going to play into that and all of that. Like I'm curious to know more because we don't know a ton about the ancients. I do like that it's set up as like this war, and it's definitely historical fantasy in that way, so I really enjoyed that. And I just want her to learn more about her magician abilities. The whole thing at the end where she kind of swears that off and becomes a sorcerer, I was like, no, you're not just a sorcerer, you're a magician. So I feel like I want her to embrace that more, so I hope that happens as the series progresses. Overall, I really enjoyed this book and gave it 4 out of 5 stars, so comment down below, let me know what you thought of this book. Nothing else about the rest of the series. I know that the last book's about to come out, or just came out. I mean, as I'm filming this, it's about to come out, but when you see this, it's already going to be out. But nothing about the rest of the series, just about this book. But I feel like it's a very underrated series I don't hear anyone talk about, so comment down below and let me know your thoughts. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!